Y'all, I try to keep a balance when it comes to talking about models and the lore, but I definitely tend to talk about lore more, and that's just because that's what I know most. But what we have to talk about today may shift some of that balance finally. There are some new models coming out that look fantastic and that I would love to talk about, on top of some new book announcements. It really feels like Games Workshop is gearing up for the summer and for a bigger announcement overall. But I'm HoodGuard, and this is your Monday Warhammer wrap-up. Let's get into it.
There is no peace amongst the stars, for in the grim, dark future, there is only war.
Alright, last week we talked about the Adepta Sororitas and the Gene Stealers who are finally getting their 10th edition line. I'm not going over all the battle forces and models coming out, so if you want to go see those, you can go check the last wrap-up. But this week we did get to see what the limited edition Codices are going to be like. On the limited edition Gene Stealer Codex cover, the alternate artwork appears to be a two-faced Gene Stealer aberrant. I've never seen that before, but also Gene Stealers are not my favorite faction. These could have been in there and I might have just missed it, but if this is something new, it could signal some new lore or even a new model. At the very least, it's a very cool kit bashing opportunity. And then on the limited edition Adepta Sororitas Codex, you get a penitent engine in the alternate artwork. This is a piece of artwork that I've seen before and I'm familiar with, but it's very interesting that they chose that one to represent the entire Sororitas. I thought, especially with her book coming out soon, that Morven Vahl would have been the choice to have on the cover. But the Codex for the Sisters of Battle is not the only new thing this week. There was also a new model revealed that's going along with this army that wasn't revealed with their battle force. And that is the Ministorum Priest with Vindicator. It is a very cool model with a weapon known as a Vindicator that's a mix between a flamer and a chainsword. A unit that can do some melee and some range, and one I'm definitely looking forward to painting. I have yet to get into my Sisters of Battle painting era, but it is coming up. Now the Custodies and Orc releases were about a month ago, but we are still getting stuff for them. Coming up for pre-order this Saturday, we have the Big Mech model along with the Shield Captain model. Both of these models look very cool, though I do have my gripes with both. The Big Mech looks very busy and the Shield Captain looks very squat. But I am looking forward to all the crazy weapons and stuff that people are going to add to that Big Mech model. And I definitely need someone to kit bash a model of Shield Captain Beazara. I've started to see people finally kit bash and make female Custodies out there. Whether they're using heads from Age of Sigmar or printed ones of their own, it's very clear that an upgrade screw is needed for that faction. And we might get it with this model. This is a standalone release and they stated that it will come with helmeted and unhelmeted head options, so maybe the first female Custodies will be there. Alright, let's jump into our book news. A couple of months ago, it was announced that we would be getting a brand new Krieg novel. Now this isn't going to be a updated Krieg novel about what they're currently doing in the Warhammer universe, but rather one about the Siege of Rax, one of the most important battles that they've ever been a part of. This book is going to be by Steve Lyons, who wrote the standalone Krieg novel, as well as other classics like Iceguard. And I feel like this is a signal of the beginning of Games Workshop focusing on these battles that we've all heard of but have never seen novelized. It took them nearly a decade just to novelize the fall of Cadia. But for loreheads like me who really like the minutia of these conflicts and learning how they occurred and who was there, I love this. This will also be available for pre-order this Saturday along with its limited edition. Before we leave today, we have one more book and one more model that I'm very excited to talk about. And they were just announced sometime this morning. A new book was announced, Demon Breaker, a Celestian Sacristant Aveline novel by Dr. Jude Reed. First of all, the art for this is wild. And the book follows a Celestian Sacristant of the Order of the Sacred Rose, one of the most elite soldiers within the Adepta Sororitas. Dr. Jude Reed is also a favorite author of mine when it comes to Warhammer books. She wrote Creed, Ashes of Cadia, which is amazing and you should check it out. She also worked on some of the narrative points of Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. And the book will be released alongside a model of Celestian Sacristant Aveline. And the model is so tough. The white armor, the cherub servitors around her, the fleur-de-lis flame sword. This is the heroic, over-the-top stuff I love seeing in models. And what I love about it is that although it is a detailed model, it's not a busy model. There's not a bunch of paint switching that has to be done to make it look cool. As if my inclination to paint Sisters of Battle wasn't already strong enough. That's going to be about it for this week's video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite model reveal was, or if you're excited about either of the two novels coming out. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. Make sure you leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next one.